Yep. I'm doing this dolo today. This is a whole new setup. Ladies, gentlemen, it is Who's Fighting? The Fighter Spotlight. Not the podcast, not episode 55. It's the Fighters Spotlight. We want to make this new segment for fighters that we want to stop by to talk about the upcoming fights. Also talk about, not only fighters, trainers, people in the industry of combat sports. Boxing is hot right now. If you were present yesterday, it was a madness in New York. Salute to Turkey I can't even say his second name, but Turkey and the Riyadh. This time it's not Riyadh Promotions. It was Ring that set it up in New York City. This is a recorded episode, so if I'm dating myself, if this is put out a few days after what happened to my clock yesterday, and yesterday was the 2nd of May. Today, here in the United States, CST, Central Time. This is Saturday noon when I'm recording this at Saturday noon, and we are going to do an fighter spotlight. Today we don't just have any guest. We have a friend to the show. We have someone that showed up little but known sometime in December, had a fight and did amazing in that fight, got rid of his opponent in the first round. Ladies and gentlemen, today we have a returning guest. We have Willy, the ring tiger. So Willy, are we there or you frozen?
Yeah, I'm there. The ring tiger.
Willy, the ring tiger, Kyakonye. How are you doing? For a minute there, I'm like, I was gonna do it. Intro.
Everything's been good, thanks God. We are alive. Yeah. If you wake up when you're alive, we thank God because many have died. So when you wake up when you're alive, you close the eyes, you thank God. So I thank God I'm alive.
Facts.
Yeah. I'm moving on.
Yes, Willy, welcome back. And let's talk about first of all, congratulations on your victory on your last fight. First round knockout over Marko Vucevic. I'm just trying to remember.
Marko, it's called Marko, that name, but I forget. Yeah, it's called Marko. I forget the name. It's called Marko. Yeah,
Marko Vucevic.
I check the name, but I forgot it's called Marko. You're right, but another name is difficult.
Right.
You're right, Strap. It's Vucevic.
Yeah.
So you knocked him out in quick fashion.
Yeah.
He looked. Respect every fighter that steps into the canvas, but he looked like he didn't deserve to be in there with you.
Yeah.
You made easy work of that. You want to kind of give us a recap? We kind of covered it on the show, but kind of give us a recap on that fight. Quick one.
Yeah. Okay. That fight, as you know, that we prepare for. So when I stood up, I knew what the plans which I had with my team. It was to put no team to exit for 3 rounds. It was to crush him in those rounds, the first 3 rounds. Yeah. That we step quickly. Yeah.
Even with that strategy of wanting to finish your opponent within the first 3, do you still in camp train for 12 plus? Do you train for to have that motor to keep going? Because sometimes
I train for 12 or 10 rounds, but when you sit with my team and we plan, we say, okay, this guy, we have to knock him down in first or third round, second round. Yeah, but my target, I train for 10 rounds, and I don't underestimate any opponent because we talk about it. Also, we don't underestimate anyone we're gonna face. Yeah,
that's good to hear. And with that being said, what advancements? What happened post that? Your ranking last time when you were here, you were in the 90s. With top heavyweights on box rank. How did that victory improve on that ranking, or what did it do post fight?
That victory it put me down. That it not made me to rise. That I was number 86 when after that fight. I was number 86, sometimes 85, because always on box rank they keep changing every time. So I was sometimes 86, sometimes 85. So it put me high. Yeah.
And that fight was about 4 months ago. And with Boxrec, they always about activity, and I could tell now it goes up, it goes down, and they have you at 89 or 88 right now, about that ranking. So as you are here, I'm sure you're here to promote a few things that are coming up. But before we go into you talking about your upcoming fights, do you have any things that have changed in your life away from rankings and what has changed post the last time we've spoken?
Actually, last time when we spoke, my weight has increased now. The weight has increased. Also, everything in general, to be honest, because I have a good team. My father is my manager and my mom. So they join together the hands and they provide everything. So with that, I cannot complain that, because I see every day, I see I'm changing, to be honest.
Right.
Now I'm very, very strong than compared to the Willy Kyakonye, the ring tiger of who fought last time. But this one again is a new one.
But see, I noticed how you fought, and I watched you and studied you, even if it was for a little bit. You have you're athletic, like you're not typical flat-footed heavyweight, You have a pretty good movement. Like you have an athletic build, and you kind of remind me, and I don't want to jinx you, but you remind me of Holyfield, kind of, like you're not a sloppy heavyweight, to say the least.
No.
And you maximize every movement, and you have a lot of pop, so it does help to at that time, or that weight that you had, it helps to be a little smaller in density, so you could move better.
Exactly.
But now that you're bigger, do you think you can still keep your athletic?
Actually, to be honest, if you see all the guys I fight, they're bigger than me. But I always watch a lot of Evander Holyfield fights, because this was one of my role models, Evander, Lex Lewis, and my late coach Zebra. So I watch, because also in my childhood, Zebra tell me, watch Evander, because Evander fought most of the big guys, but he used to punish them.
Yes.
So if you see, even if now I grow in weight, but I'll never be the same with my opponents. I may be tall by this time, but you see, if you put us on a weighing scale, my opponents are always heavier than me. Because you see the guy I'm gonna fight now, from that game, I'm gonna fight for the WF world title. He's full weight, 25 kilograms plus.
Is that Vasquez, or are you talking about
25 plus? But me, I'm not that weight. I'm 102 that weight.
Yeah.
So they're always heavier. I'm increasing weight, but for them they're always bigger than heavier than me.
Yeah. So you have some. Your build is not exactly, but like a Deontay Wilder type. Get the bigger guys. Like it's just. And it's an advantage because it gives him more wiry strength, more pop, more, he's not going to smother you like a Bakole, who's just, he's a train. He's coming just kind of like RIP, the late great George Foreman. But you're more athletic snap, and that's where the knockouts come, it's not really just having, that power, but it's that power with a little bit of, but, going on the changes that you've had, do you still have the same trainers, same camp? Same everything?
I still have the same trainer, but now more things I do out of massage. I still have the same trainer, but my parents again added in that I should do more massage. I do more massage. Eating has also changed. That now I eat out of shakes are always there. I make every night, morning, and also, I do the massage like 3 times a week. Those are very expensive, but I do it 3 times a week. And also I do power training by Jordan, sometimes 2 times, sometimes 1 time, depends how I feel.
Do you have a strength and conditioning coach, or you just do that?
I have him.
Okay, you have that.
I have that. He's in Rotterdam.
Do you have do you ever do with your recovery? I see a lot of athletes doing this. Not mainly, I don't see a lot of boxers, but I see a lot of UFC guys doing the cold plunge. where they go into cold ice water
Yeah,
for
I do
recovery?
it.
Oh,
I do it. I do it in Boswat.
nice. So you have all these things, these resources to your disposal to help
Yeah.
you get prepared for these fights, and that's good to hear. Because typically natively where we come from in Uganda, like these are men,
Yeah.
not there. Recovery is going to maybe.
Things. Yeah.
But that's good to hear. That's good to hear that you have that. So moving on, so you have a fight that was postponed from March and it's been moved to 17th of this month. You'll be fighting Wilmer Vasquez. Do you have any information about this your opponent for this fight?
Yeah, actually, for me, sometimes when I fight some people, I don't read about them. But my father told me is my manager, so he sent me some stuff, and I read about him. He's an Olympian. He did the Olympics.
Yeah.
Which means he has experience. He may be old, but also when I saw when he's fighting, I saw one clip. He has experience of fighting. How he sees when he's fighting. Is accurate. He's slow, but he's accurate. He's a good boxer.
Yeah,
he knows what he's doing.
He has good pedigree.
A career. You see the Olympics. Someone who did the Olympics, and also if you see the guys he fought in the Olympics, those are guys. So he has experience of boxing.
He has experience. Venezuelan. His record right now in the pros is he's had 13 victories. 3 draws and I think 2 losses, and he has had 8 knockouts. Still, that's yet to show more. But like you said, he's an Olympian. Then he must have a very extensive amateur career. That maybe he has 400, 500 fights that could tell more of what his stats look like. Like that. You said it very well. Like, yes, if you have that pedigree of Olympics, but yes, again, Olympics, depending on which country, because some countries, they go to Olympics, but they're Olympians, but they're not as like a Cuba, like Great Britain, United States. When you hear a United States Olympian, then that's a person, or Cuban Olympian. These guys have been amateurs, and Ukrainian, Russian Olympian. I'm saying that to say, being an Olympian, you come with a pedigree, you come with that amateur ability, that how to fight. You just not a guy who just decided to go into boxing to get a little bit of money. So yes, Wilmer, if his name is if I'm saying it right, he says Wilmer, but Wilmer, I'm assuming it's a V. Wilmer, how they pronounce it, I don't know. But Wilmer Vasquez may be that type of fighter, like you said, that is very smart, very wily, and he could create a bit of a problem if you don't take him serious. And if you think, if you don't use your brain and find ways to solve that puzzle. So I know you have a plan for this fight. I don't want you to put it out there.
Yeah.
But like last time, I want to still ask you, how do you see yourself winning this fight?
With God, I see we're winning this fight by KO. I think in 6 rounds, 7 rounds there. So I won't start with pressure. I want to fast go slow because I saw him. He can take a punch. I saw him when he's fighting because he fought a Mexican who is young. His last fight fought a Mexican who is like 25 years. But I see he beat that Mexican. And yet the Mexican also is a good boxer. So I have to take him slow. But then at the end of the rounds, I can knock him down maybe in seven rounds.
So I'm going to put you in a scenario here, right? You're fighting a fighter. You're prepared. You've done your film with your coach. You've watched everything. You've even visualized this in your sleep. You've dreamt about every round. You know everything. It's textbook. It's been written. You fight a guy. First round is exactly what you expected. And then the second round, he knocks you down. What is the mentality there for a fighter when something is off the script? Like, how is what's the mentality there when your coaches, your side have planned this thing and it just kind of
goes wrong?
Well,
sometimes it bothers the brain, but Yeah, if you can recover from it, then you can still go on with your plan. But again, if the coach has read that mistake why you fell down, then the coach has to correct you in a corner. When you go to the corner, straight to change. You have to be quick to see.
The reason why I bring this up, yesterday we did see a fight. I don't know if you guys got to catch it live. It was late over there in your country, but here it was in the evening. It was Ryan Garcia versus Rolly Romero.
Yeah.
Yes.
Catching it late?
Yeah.
So you saw that after that knockdown, the mentality was not the same. It was in the second round. He looked okay in the first. They were trying to figure each other's distance, trying to find a way to trap him with the hook, with his left hook, which he uses a lot as a check. And then he got caught with a double tap hook, that put him down. And I don't know, as a fighter, was it that he respected Rolly's power? Was it that this was not the plan in training? This guy didn't have this punch. So I was just trying to understand from a real boxer, what is that mentality and how do you break that idea?
It can bother you for some rounds. If you now he felt it was still bothering him. So here in the corner, the coach had to tell him to change or to go slow.
Right.
Because that knockdown sometimes it bothers you in the brain. Yeah.
So definitely. I always wanted to ask questions about mentality, preparation, and being flexible with. Well, we planned this. This happened. Now I want to do this. Maybe give him a bit of a fight, pull back. Now let's go box a little bit. Let me, switch it up, because sometimes what we plan is never what's going to be. It's never what's going to be in front of us, because the fighter that you planned is also planning. So two people that are planning for war. So it's always interesting. Bringing it back to you and your planning, right?
Yeah.
You've had 9 knockouts in your last 10 fights. Yeah. That is impressive. You're at 90% knockout rate. As you keep on going, you're going to build a reputation as a knockout artist with that rate that you're going at, right? With that being said, some people with that rate usually they call it the deep waters. 10, 11, 12 rounds. How do you not get fixated in your power and that punch to know that, hey, this is boxing, it's rounds, it's and have that mentality of like, okay, I know people know me for knocking out people, but I can fight you, like I can box you to 12 rounds, boxing you, and not, let's say if you're fighting somebody who's dangerous and you just don't want to get caught, and I know for you to get your knockout, you have to counter or find a way to open up, so to give him a little bit so you can get your punches, right? Like Evander Holyfield, give him a little bit to get to set the trap. But in this case, you have a deadly guy. You don't want to give them a little bit, and you just want to box. How do you prepare yourself as a knockout guy to fight 12 rounds?
I first box that person. I don't take risks. I first box him. Then later, maybe when the knockout comes. But most of the time when I fight these guys, I first box them. Like such guys, I want to first box to see how it goes. Than coming for a knockdown. First, I come to box. Maybe when it comes. But first, most of the time, I want to box until it comes by itself. Then I can read someone's body language. Yeah,
right. That's a smart strategy. Because I'm learning just hearing you say that. Because in my mind, when I see records like yours, I see guys who are not ready to go 8 rounds. They want to destroy you quick. Mike Tyson, they want to get this thing over with quick. And naturally, when you pass their threshold, which is 9, 10, 12, either they start to fight you. They start boxing. They have to work on their clinching. They have to work on so many things to let the earlier rounds win the fight. And then, Ali was great because this guy just had an engine in him. The guy was ready to die in that ring, and he had legs, and I always want to understand fighters that knock out, like Foreman, Sonny Liston, who these guys are not here, but how they can prepare for a guy like Ali, a guy who wants to take you to the deep water. So yeah, and it's good that you said that you box him. Even if the guy, you wants to take you to the deep waters, let's box, and I'll let the punch come naturally. I like to hear that. Let me ask you another question here, sir. So I already see that this is interesting. You already have a fight scheduled after your Wilmer Vasquez fight. How did that happen?
Actually, my father told me about it because he contacted some people. So they had organized an event on 14 June. And yet, so I had to fight that guy on 17. I had to fight that guy on 17 May. But because I was sick, then they changed for me to fight the Wilmer on 17 May. Then when we got a chance to fight 14 June, because my father was trying to look for where we can fight for another fight. Then we got there. Then so okay, we don't have to lose that chance. Let us use it.
I'm looking at the guy you're supposed to fight in the next month, Marko Vucevic. He's a Belgian fighter.
Yeah.
He looks very action figure like like muscular.
Yeah.
I don't know. He didn't look that tall in height. How tall is he? Let's see.
Like bodybuilders.
He looks like a bodybuilder. Yes. He looks like a bodybuilder. He looks like a bodybuilder. Yeah. It doesn't really talk on BoxRec. They don't have his measurements, like his height and I don't see. Maybe I'm seeing the wrong thing here, but yeah. So he looks like another big guy. Probably, like you said, most of the guys you're gonna fight are gonna be heavier than you. He looks like another big guy. And one thing I also learned recently about bodybuilder type of heavyweights, muscles hold a lot of oxygen. They said, so a lot of them struggle with cardio. Going all the way. We see with Anthony Joshua sometimes in the long fights. You get tired quick, rather than the typical boxer build. But so do you anything about Marko Vucevic? Do you know anything about him?
No, I don't know anything about him, but they say he's good in Belgium. He's a good boxer. Yeah, for me, when we got that chance, I say, okay, I can't drop this chance. Also, I'll fight him, then I can rest after the two fights. So I have nothing special about him. Me, I wait for him in the ring, then he will feel. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
And also,
the fights are following very quickly, Strap. So it is concentrating a lot.
Yeah.
First on the match to come, and after that we look forward to the second one. And like Willy said, unfortunately he was down with the flu in March, 2 weeks before the actual fight. And luckily, with all the organizers, we have been able to shift the fights to next events. And unfortunately, at the moment there are some organizers here in Holland, coming up. And actually, this one in June, it's a very nice one. Because it was organized, or the kickoff was made by the Dutch Boxing Federation, and they contacted an organizer here in Holland. And the stadium that they're going to use, actually, it's I don't know if you're familiar with beach volleyball.
A little bit in the Olympics, yeah.
Yeah, no, and actually they're going to use the same setup as a stadium.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So actually you have the stands. So actually in the middle where you normally have the sand and the volleyball court. Now they're going to put a ring in there. And they're going to build the stands around it. And it's going to be, depending on the weather. But we hope for good weather because then it's going to be open.
Mm-hmm.
And if it turns out maybe a bit worse, then they can close it off. So actually, the plan is in the afternoon that there will be an international fight between Dutch and German boxers.
Oh, jump, no.
Yeah, and then later in the evening they're gonna organize another couple of pro fights, and then of course Willy for the Benelux.
And that's at the. Is this at the Sportsworks Arena? Or
I think so. Yeah.
because I saw 2 arenas on the list. I saw Lee Warren.
No, Leeuwarden actually is just indoor. Leeuwarden is indoor. That is Leeuwarden is a city here.
Yeah.
Actually, so well, I think sometimes some door opens or door closes. So in fact, it is very nice that the way it works out now is that we are fighting for the world title in front of the home crowd.
Wow!
Yeah.
Congratulations on that chance and that, and in that situation happening.
Yeah. So we had a lot of cooperation of all the parties involved, also from the WBF, because we had to freeze the match.
Yeah.
And they said that it was okay to do so. They understood, and they said we keep it as it is, and with the same opponents and everything, because everything was arranged for. So we only had to find a new opportunity, and luckily that was Leeuwarden, and then the match in Leeuwarden we were able to move it down to Utrecht.
Mm-hmm.
So actually, nothing is lost. It's only shifted by a couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm. That's a good setup, and it's happenstance that you get the opportunity from a misfortunate situation earlier to this opportunity. That's great. Going back to your fight for the WBF, was Wilmer Vasquez a mandatory for you, or was he just someone that was selected from the ranks as a worthy opponent? How does that work?
No, we just had a look because actually the title was vacant.
Mm-hmm.
So when we when we heard and found out about it, we approached the WBF, and actually that was also the reason why we did the fight in December. Mm-hmm. Because one of the conditions was top 100.
Yeah.
Before that, we were just floating between 90 and 100. Mm-hmm. So the fight in December just gave us a couple of extra points to make sure that we stayed within the top 100. So then it changed between 80 and 90. But okay, that we knew that was not that dramatic that we were gonna lose too many places over the time to get for the WBF title fight. Mm-hmm. And then you look around, we'll see, and then like I said with boxer, because at the moment the ranking from Wilmer Vasquez is maybe showing around 210, 215. Mm-hmm. At the time when we approached or when we were looking, he was around 160, 170. So also there you have the changes, and of course over time when you don't fight, you drop a little bit.
Right.
But Wilmer was looking forward to the fight. I think it's also maybe, I don't want to say maybe one of his last opportunities to get an opportunity like this.
Right.
And like we said before, in 2004 he was fighting as an amateur on the Olympics in Greece. Mm-hmm. Also, if you look at the last 3 matches, because that is also what we looked at. I mean, we're not just trying to find somebody that we are, and also he had to be accepted by the WBF as an opponent. So it was not just finding somebody; it was also finding somebody that the WBF allowed as an opponent. So and then but what we try to do, and we told you that also in the last interview, is to find opponents that. Bring something to the table, and I think still, Wilmer is something like that. And like you said, most of Willy's opponents, they are all heavier, but so be it. And Yeah, okay. It depends a bit how you look at it. We know we want to have a bit of weight, but on the other hand, you need. It's the same like with Usyk,
Yes.
He also Usyk is over the years. I mean that it's a tremendous boxer. But if you see him, how he can move in the ring, because he can move better because he's lighter.
Right.
And in general, the preparation is you prepare for 12 rounds that you can go to the max. And the first couple of rounds is maybe just to see how to create openings in the defense. I think that is what every boxer does. Some boxers, they want to finish off the fight quick. But nevertheless, if there is an opportunity to finish the fight early, Willy, he's not going to wait for it. Huh?
Right, you gotta take it, because especially when you're with a stubborn opponent, you gotta take that opportunity.
Yeah, no, but that is what. Yeah, it's a bit finding out in the ring and to see how the opponent moves as well. I mean, you saw it last time with the Big Bang.
Yep.
Against Caballel.
Oh, yep.
And but personally, I would have expected more from the Chinese guy.
Right.
But, you could see that, in the end, he looked like he was not as fit as when he was fighting Wilder.
Same thing as, and if this was taken in short notice, Martin Bakole versus Joe Parker. You could see that.
Yeah.
When you have all that weight and you're just not as
flexible. No, that is, I think, if you can keep a bit on the distance, that you have to that you make them work. Yeah, then either you chase them or you. But if you can avoid them coming in,
yes, then
I think that might be the big advantage. And if they can't bring that in the next 4 or 5 rounds, I think then the heavier boxers will have a problem.
Yes.
And especially on the conditional side, because you still need to carry all that weight around.
Yes. So, talking about heavyweight boxing, this is Willy's division. I see a lot of growth in the European heavyweight area, where you have a lot of great fighters, and we've seen it with. Of course, in the eras of Chisora has been around for a while, but you see the Daniel Dubois, you see the of course Fury's retired now, but I'll call Usyk European because of Ukraine. You talk about who else? They're fighters. There's Bakole. Bakole, yes, he's African, but he's Scotland is where he's basing himself. We have Willy, who's upcoming in this division. Like it's looking like there's a big rise of heavyweights in Europe. How is this landscape? How is this landscape, and what has caused this growth of heavyweight boxing in Europe? Like, can you accredit it to something, or a time, or?
I think first of all it has to do with what is happening right now with the Riyadh season.
Yes.
Yeah, that they, of course, money makes the world go round. I think that is one of the things that if you can invest, you can let the boxers fight more often.
Yes.
Of course, there is a big boxing tradition in the UK.
Yeah.
That you can see that, and of course, if you look on the calendar in the UK, then there is every weekend there is a big event.
Right.
Yeah, and I think that helps a lot. I mean, to create opportunities. I think one of the bigger federations now, the WBC, they just started with a new setup for boxers up till 26 to bring it under like a sort of tournament, which I think
a Grand Prix type thing. The Grand Prix.
Yeah. I think that is a fantastic idea.
Yeah,
because then you go, then you will give boxers really opportunities, and then also, even as a professional, there is light at the end of the tunnel.
Yes.
It is like a sort of big stage tournament, And every round, either you win or you lose, and you move on to the next round until you fight your opponent in the last one. You fight them in the final, and I think that that will tell you a little bit more about the quality of the fighter in the first place. Because sometimes with other fights, people put boxes together, and I think now it is with this setup. I would say it is more fair, or it will bring out the best boxer that in that division.
Yes.
That is available at the time, and if he then continues later after 26, he moves up and go. Well, he's already, but then you know that you will have a better overview of the better fighters. I think that and you let them fight against each other. So I think it's more honest, even despite the ranking.
Yeah. So, yes, and that there's some good incentives that come from that Grand Prix. Apparently, they have 200,000 cash for the winner of the whole thing, and
that is also great. I mean, and it helps a lot, and at least that you get the idea that you're fighting as a professional, because
especially
boxing is for a lot of people their lifestyle. But at least there is a reward at the end, which is quite substantial, and you don't have the feeling that you're just fighting for some
and even
back in the bar business,
Yeah, there's also another incentive that WBC is giving to the winner of the tournament. They'll make you a mandatory challenger to the WBC silver title belt. So it's a wonderful model that they're doing over there for fighters that are not discovered yet, are upcoming, and it's amazing.
No, I think in principle, I think that every federation should look at this type of organization or possibility to set up a tournament like this. It is now the WBC, but you still work with different federations, and every federation has its own fighters. So I think there is far more opportunities that even like an undisputed title. I mean, I think IBF, IBO, WBO, WBA, I think they should look at a similar setup. Then over time, the fighters within those 4 or 5 federations, they can fight it amongst themselves to see who will be the ultimate world champion up till 26.
Yeah, I agree.
But then you go more in the tournament style. But at least the one at the end, I think he must be the better fighter of them all.
Right. It reminds
everybody has the same opportunities.
Yeah, I like that. I really like that idea. It's a great model, and it's a great way to cultivate and bring new faces to the TV, new talent. New because it's out there. There's a lot of great boxers out there that have not been discovered by the masses, and the people that watch boxing, they need to discover these faces and start to support them. So it's great that WBC is doing this. And you said it would be great if the other federations took on this model and did something similar. Moving on, we talked about. We earlier talked about heavyweights in the UK. I mean, in Europe, and the growth of heavyweight talent out there, because there's a lot of heavyweight talent. I was looking at, I think it was Art that sent me your European ranking as a heavyweight, and I saw some of the names in there, and I'm like, wow, Europe is stacked. There's some great fighters out there.
Definitely. I think that if you look at what is running around at the moment, and in Europe, and you translate that to other federations, they perform the fights, then I think Europe is pretty well on the map.
They're on the map. So now that we said that, let's talk about also world heavyweights. Today, like I said earlier, today is Saturday, May 3rd. This evening, there's going to be a clash of two giants. two African giants, may I say. Martin Bakole, who's representing Scotland, a way of Democratic Republic of Congo, and we have Efe Ajagba representing the United States, Dallas, but his native country is Nigeria. Willy is one of the few people that may have experienced both of these two fighters. One in the world. Did you do the African?
It was African Championships. And also Olympic qualifiers in Cameroon, Yaoundé.
And Martin Bakole, have you been around him or sparred with?
Martin Bakole, I know him from. It was long time in Congo Brazzaville.
Okay.
But later on he went to South Africa. Because his parents, I think, they live in South Africa, and also his old brother called Bakole, also his old brother called Elunga Bakole. Also is a world champion. You know him. Elunga Bakole is a light heavy.
He was a cruiserweight at one time. He did cruiserweight. He was a he fought.
He's a cruiserweight. Yeah. Also he fought. He fought Tony Bellew. He's a very good boxer.
Yeah, very good boxer. He was a world champion.
Talented southpaw.
Yeah.
So Bakole, him not much. I didn't do a lot, but with the Efe Ajagba, most of the fights for Africa, we have been together. But not that we are friends. No, we are not friends. But his boys. Because I fought a guy from Nigeria who's light heavy. That time I was 91. And that guy was 91. But Ajagba fought Sekabembe Mike from Uganda. He's a UPDF, he's a soldier. But also it was Olympic qualifiers, yeah. Efe fought with Sekabembe. Me, I fought with one guy from Nigeria. So I know him. Also, when he was in Morocco, Casablanca African Championships, Sekabembe fought him. And I fought another guy from another country that time. So I've been seeing him most of the tournaments, but we don't talk. Everyone is on his own, yeah.
So going back to that, so you're familiar with both fighters. Today they are clashing. You're the guest of the show. We're going to both do predictions on what you think that fight is. In the show, actually, we already have predictions on our last episode. What's going to happen? We have LT, Cam G, the other guests. They gave their predictions, and all of them had very descriptive ways of how the fight was going to go. But you're our guest, Willy. Even Art, you can join in if you want to give us a prediction and see if
he has to give his prediction, because he knows the heavyweights. He knows most of the things for boxing and more than because he's always making me sad that me, I'm not good in it. But him, he can give his prediction.
Okay. So let's start with our guest. Should we start with Art or should we start with Willy?
We start with Papa. Let him give you.
All right, give us the prediction of this fight.
Well, I think maybe Ajagba.
Wow.
Yeah, I think. It depends how Bakole came, because last time when he was fighting, he stood in very quick. And it depends how he came out of that fight, because it was a bit serious the way he lost the match.
Yeah.
So I think depends how he picked up his training after that match, and how much time he maybe had, because it was a serious defeat. So sometimes it might take a bit of time first to recover from it, and then how fast you can pick it up back to your normal level. And on top of that, he had plenty time to organize his training camp. So he should be pretty sound and healthy. So he's also a little bit younger.
Yep.
So I would say the big boy from Nigeria.
Efe Ajagba. Okay. about Willy? What's your prediction?
Actually, for me, I think Martin Bakole, he's gonna win the fight. For the reasons which I have, because Martin Bakole has speed and Efe is slow. Because when I last saw Efe fighting Sekabembe, Mike from Uganda, I think it was like 37 years. 36, no, 35, 36. And he almost beat Efe Ajagba. Ajagba cannot handle pressure. He fights good. He's a very strong guy, but he cannot handle pressure. Bakole is strong, but also he has fast hands. So what I think, if Ajagba doesn't knock down Bakole in the first 6 rounds or 8 rounds, Bakole is going to knock him down very bad. Or he's going to beat him up. Or Ajagba may box and the fight ends with the points, but Bakole will win because Bakole throws out of punches. Yeah. I think Bakole is going to win the fight.
And going back to Art, which round do you think
what happened there?
You press something?
No, I didn't do anything.
Yeah.
No, it's all good. I'll edit that out. It's recording. But I was going back to Art. What round do you think is going to get Bakole out of there?
Well, like Willy said, if I would not be surprised if Bakole cannot do anything in the first couple of rounds, because I think he's more like a puncher or like to finish quick. Then it might be able to go the distance.
And then same question to you, Willy. What round does Bakole? You said 10. Okay, so Bakole is going to get Efe out in the 10th round.
Yeah.
Wow. So our team here, this was our predictions. So Canelo Skull, LT said Canelo is going to win in the 5th round by knockout. Munguia fight, Munguia is going to win that fight in the 8th. And then LT had Bakole getting Ajagba out in the 6th round. Cam had Canelo winning unanimous decision, Munguia winning unanimous decision, and then Bakole getting out Efe in the 4th round. My prediction was Canelo winning unanimous decision, Munguia winning in the 8th round by knockout, and then Bakole winning in the 7th round by knockout. But the reason why
I was thinking that also in the 76th round.
The reason why I chose Bakole knocking, because yes, Art is very correct. Bakole got a bad defeat by Joseph Parker, but even looking at it in that match, I think I respect all fighters, but Bakole was going there to get money. I mean, it was a quick turnaround. They needed somebody to fight Joe Parker. Turkey sent him the bag. He come here fight. Bakole knew he wasn't ready for that fight. So I don't think it's going to really damage him that he got that loss. Well, and the way he lost, it wasn't like a bad knockout. He got grazed in the head and he lost his balance and fell back.
Yeah, but he stood up.
He stood up, but he was still wobbly. Yeah. But he didn't get really beat bad. He didn't get a lot of damage from that fight. But the only thing that fight may have hurt him is he took away his boogeyman effect.
Yeah, boogeyman.
Everybody was afraid of him because of his sparring story, when he spars people and what he has done to some of the best champions in training. But that fight kind of poured water on all that fire that that was talking about him being the boogeyman. Why Efe is dangerous, like you said, Efe is very strong.
Very
strong. He hits hard.
Yeah.
But Efe with pressure, I don't know. I don't know if he's fought someone that keeps on stepping up, turning on the heat.
Yeah.
That could be Martin Bakole. Again, Martin Bakole has also been defeated before by, I think, I forgot his name, the gentleman. Martin? No, I can't remember. Oh, Hunter, Michael Hunter. Yes.
Michael
Yeah.
Hunter.
So like both fighters, it's gonna be a great fight, and I don't think anything can happen. Anything can happen.
Anything can happen. Yeah,
Anything
but
can happen.
everyone's
But
dangerous. Yeah.
at the end of the day, somebody has to win, and that's great. We can't wait for you, Willie, to be part of that mix.
Yeah, those guys soon I'm coming. Soon. Just it's a matter of time, patience, but trust me.
Yeah.
Soon we are there.
So Willie, we are coming to the kind of like the end of the show. We want you to use this time to either give a shout out to one of the fighters that you're either mentoring, fighters that you're working with that you think deserves a spotlight, deserves to be on a show like this, or deserves to, be out there and get them some promotion. Use this to shout out anyone you want to shout out, a trainer, a person, anything.
Okay. Now, first of all the trainers, or also because for me now, I'm going to talk about, first of all, now I thank my father and mother. They have done a good job for me. As I told you before, I was shit. I was nothing. I was like a piece of shit, to be honest. I was really nothing when I was here, but they tuned up my life. Second, I big up to Sula Segawa. He's now in USA there.
Salute.
That was number one. That was a teacher. He's a master. So everyone, I also went to one day. I told him I want us to be here talking. When he's there, we talk together also with you.
Yeah.
And also another fight, Coach Vincent. Big up my Coach Vincent. He does good work for me. He puts work in me. And also Coach Nasa is in the UK, Scotland, who trains Bakole.
Mm-hmm.
He gives me some tips he's from Uganda, the that coach. One of the coaches of Bakole is Billy Nelson. Also there's one coach called Nasa. Ray Nasa is from in Scotland. He also is one of the team of Bakole, who trains Bakole. So sometimes he steals some tips, he gives them to me for what they do there, those people there. Yeah.
And all those people, like, thank you for supporting Willie. Thank you for being his backbone. Thank you for creating at least an opportunity for him to be on a stage where he can, propel and be, the next world champion. And we are all here in viewing to see that. We want to see you win. Willie, Art, it's been a great time sitting down talking to you. Remember, you guys are friends of the show, the Who's Fighting show. So whenever you want to promote anything, let me know. We'll make that happen. Willie is going to be fighting on the 17th of May with a wily Venezuelan fighter, Wilmer Vasquez. And a question to you, Willie, before we head out. Will you guys have a pay-per-view for that fight that I can share on social media?
We're still working on that at the moment, Strap. But as soon as I have more details, you're the first to know to see on the pay-per-view.
And also, one more thing, you and your team, thanks for the time which you give us. May God bless you.
Oh, thank you.
And put us here with my father. We talk about boxing. May God bless you all.
Thank you. And I could not do it without my other host partners.
Yeah.
Salute to Cam G.
Yeah.
Salute to LT. We do it as a 3-man unit, and it's always fun to do this. Yeah. We are just really some of us are fathers that just sit down and watch boxing, and we decided to start a show, because we talk about this in the living room when we watch every Saturday. We're watching fights, so let's take this to the internet, and now we are getting real fighters on our show talking about their preparation and mentality. It's just amazing to do this, because in the past, Willie, you'd be somewhere on a news station or a radio station, but now you're sitting down with a casual, a fan, and we talk about your upcoming fight. It's amazing how media has changed.
But that is where the supporters are coming from, huh?
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much, Art. Thank you for taking care of Willie and giving him all these opportunity and resources for him to be this great world champion.
It is our pleasure, and we're happy to that you gave us another shot on the show, Strap. Much appreciated.
Absolutely. Well, fellas, it's been a great sit down. artist, or I say artist all the time, fighter spotlight. Hopefully we do it again. Everybody, have a great one.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.